important man.
What are you looking at with that face on?
They're on to us. Blacked out.
It did.
It shut us down?
No. It went right back on, but they kicked us.
They took a screen.
The live video has ended. It will be available soon. Motherfucker.
They got us.
Sorry. Because I said something.
I said presidential. Yep.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green is people.
They're on to us. It ain't feces.
They're going to get
it. It ain't
us.
McDonald's.
Especially a week before the election. Yeah, they're going to get us. Are they going to let us back on?
Don't eat In-N-Out Burger either.
Why?
I remembered when they were hunting for Ghislaine Maxwell when she went missing, and a picture pops up of her. She posed right in front of In-N-Out Burger, and I think that was letting people know. And it's very close to, guess what? The Impossible Meat shipping place.
Okay.
And right across the street is Planned Parenthood. Big facility.
Let's be honest.
Just saying.
How much burger am I getting out of one baby? Not a lot of burger there.
You don't know.
You don't know.
All you need is the DNA.
Are we back on?
Yeah, it hiccuped. But here's the thing. Nothing shook. The lights didn't go out on the cameras.
Nope.
Glitch in the matrix.
I said the P word, and it got crazy.
And not pussy.
No.
Apparently we can say pussy all you want.
Pussy. It's live again, though.
And McDonald's.
So if you're tuning back in, I hope that you're here. I apologize. We are once again live. Yeah, dude.
They got us.
All right, here we go. Jim Schaefer, Katie McGrogan, and Daniel DeStefano are all watching. Jim Schaefer says you're back. Not just dick jokes. There are things you would never say due to journalistic integrity.
Yeah. Also, shout out to my man Dan since he's watching. Dude, he's had a rough fucking go of it this week, and hope everything's all right, buddy.
What happened? You want to tell his business?
Not on air.
Charles Sellers, for me, it started to lag, then just stopped for a minute. Dude, I said about our election on Tuesday, and it just fucking... And it was like a nice, smooth program, wasn't it? Lickable TV screen that can have taste has been developed in Japan.
Schnozberg tastes like Schnozberg.
Back to Japan.
Porn's going to be lit. That's all I'm saying.
Do they have feces on the TV screen too? Fucking
listen. If you're gonna make taste television, okay, that's fine as long as you can't smell it.
Do you want to lick your TV?
Do I want to lick my TV? No. I want to lick my TV inordinately more than I want to smell a porn set.
So you don't remember Winky Dink, right? Back in the 50s. 60s,
I wasn't alive then.
60s. They had a...
wasn't alive then either.
Right, you put this thing on the TV screen, and then as the cartoon's going, you draw them the bridge to get across the water. It was interactive.
That's pretty cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
Get close to that.
Did they become Shrinky Dinks later? Is it the same company, I wonder? Because Shrinky Dinks, I remember.
You know, like whatever it is, Hasbro or... But
there was a band. I forget the band. A famous band. Signed band toured the world. And I forget who it was. But started their career calling themselves Shrinky Dinks, and they got sued and had to change their name.
The who?
Jim Schaefer. You want to taste your TV? Just drink a seltzer water. That's pretty funny.
I would not drink a seltzer water.
So what band was called the Shrinky Dinks before?
I'm Googling it now because
we don't have
I forget. But it was a thing.
The thing is, TVs are all in the air now. How do they even get up there? You know?
How about Ron?
They used to be down on the console, you know, and now they're like projecting out of the side of the wall and shit.
Do you even have a television? I don't even remember.
I was right.
Go ahead.
The band Sugar Ray
was called Shrinky Dinks.
Who's that guy?
Came out Mark McGrath.
There you go.
Came out as Shrinky Dinks and then got sued and had to change their name.
Makes sense though.
Shrinky Dinks is a terrible band name.
Sugar Ray ain't too good either.
It's not. But the band's not good. So.
No, it's a good name. Sugar Ray's a good name because you think of the box. You know what I mean? Like it's a good name.
But which Sugar Ray are we talking now?
You know what's really weird? They were heavy before they were successful. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They were a pretty good
I
band.
heard that. Yeah.
They were a pretty good band. And then they had to like go.
Pop.
I was going to say gay. I'm glad you said pop. Thank you. I'm for real. Thank you.
I think the Goo Goo Dolls were too.
That was the MTV thing, though. They used him as a host and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He was a good looking dude. He's a fucking weirdo now. His face
he's
is
a cat
giant.
person now.
He's giant plastic head.
Yeah.
He's fucked up.
You ever
I
seen
remember
him?
he got on stage and he was like, "Do you want to smell Madonna's pussy?" And just held his hands out.
No, he definitely did way too much of the plastic surgery, and now he's a cat person.
Yeah, and he was on Wife Swap. He's kind of a doucher. And he's not even touring with Sugar Ray anymore. He's just the Mark McGrath guy as a solo
Yeah,
dude.
there you go. That's what he looks like now.
Well,
Cat person.
Show the camera.
Cat person.
Meow.
Escape from LA.
Yeah, it's all bad, dude. That dude's a fucking train wreck now. Why do people do that?
That's what my mind is spinning.
Insecurity.
They all look fucking horrible.
None of us are famous, which is actually, the older I get, it's more of a positive than you could ever imagine, because we've all had to establish ourselves economically doing something honest and real and legitimate, which is good. And now we have our lives, and we're not like,
You don't need that.
you don't need tabloid bullshit and all that. We talk shit because it's funny, but, whatever.
If you had become famous at 23 years
I don't know if I'd be
old,
alive. I don't know if I'd be alive.
Dead.
what would have got you?
Hoovers. I love Hoovers.
Hoovers.
They're the best.
But-
I'm not a drug guy.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm asking, because you don't drink, you don't do drugs, so what would have got you?
Hoovers.
Like, you would have died from AIDS? Like what?
That's possible.
Or a crazy whore would have killed you?
That almost happens.
Yeah,
Don't shake the
that's what I
table
mean.
anymore,
You
David.
You
Jesus
don't-
Christ.
You don't need money.
You don't need money for that. I
Right.
mean, for whores, you do need money, it turns out.
In my book that none of you people bought, not that I'm bitter, 12 feet tall and bulletproof, it's up there. I had a girl who you met who sat here who drove my band vehicle into my house.
Wow.
She was Spanish.
Not surprised by that.
Yeah.
From the island?
Well, she was born here.
Okay.
She's not even trashy. She's all right.
That's hard.
She's all right. She was on the program. She was here. And I was like, do you want me to use your name in the book? And she's like, no. I was like, all right.
What about you? You think you would have made it out?
No,
You
I
would've made
know
it
I
through?
wouldn't have.
What would have got you?
He had chemical problems.
Just the money. If you have enough money to do those things.
Anything you want.
Yeah. I was just with no money. I was
Would
horrible.
have been booze? Would have been drugs? What would have got you?
Both. Easy.
No, the answer is, yo.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, who knows? I don't even remember anything in that money, It's hard.
I liked your answer. My answer will be all of the above.
Yup. All right, here we go. Daniel does stuff. I can't say it.
DeStefano.
Can make sure that you take your tongue off the TV when your dick pops up. All right. Jim Schaefer. You want to taste your TV? Just drink seltzer water. Did that one.
We saw.
Jim Schaefer. Ron would be watching Sesame Street, waiting for Snuffy to see if it tastes as he remembers. I'm screenshotting that.
I think he's on a couple today, dude. Jim Schaefer's on a roll.
Charles Sellers. What's wrong with cats? Daniel DeStefano. Vex. Crazy whore ran my vehicle through my house, but she's all right. She is. She's all right. She was on the show.
You know why you say that? And I know why you say that. Because I have a little bit of this inside of me, too. That, like, some point, you're probably like, I mean, it might have been partially my fault.
No, you know what I say? She loved me.
Yeah, she was.
I love that.
If you're that angry about it, you must really love her.
Every time I did something really fucking bad
Egregious.
and I got caught, if they were livid, in my head I was like, oh, we're good. I just got to listen to this for about 2 hours. I'll fuck her and we'll be fine. And it worked every time. Like, if they're really angry, I still have all the control.
Except for the 2 divorces.
When they freeze you out, I no longer have control. And the second divorce was me. I did the second divorce. Daniel say it. DeStefano. It's only love if she stabs you. LOL. He's not lying, dude.
I'm aware, asshole.
Did you get stabbed?
Yeah.
Wow.
With a broken beer bottle.
Oh, yeah, you did tell that story.
And then, after I got stabbed with a broken beer bottle, stayed with her for another year and a half.
Because she loved you, dude.
Because she had to love me if she was that mad.
Hey, you're not wrong, though.
Oops. Turns out she's just fucking crazy. Now, that's not to say that I'm not completely innocent. Go ahead, who's doing it now?
Jim Schaefer. True love of she twists the knife while inside of you.
Yeah.
He's had some problems.
Yeah, that's when they're really out there.
I've had fun though. I had a good time. A lot of weird downtime, crazy stuff.
But I'm still having a good time. Are we not?
What's this we?
We're still having a good time.
I'm out of the game for a while.
Bro, we're the kings of our own little world.
I agree with that sentence. I agree with that. You're about to go to a different state and build a mansion. I hope. No, you're gonna. You're supposed to be here for Yacht Rock for Johnny Zero's performance. And you might have to be here for New Year's for the other fucking Johnny Zero performance.
It's gonna be cold.
Also, let me ask you a question.
What's that?
How did I somehow wind up signed up to fucking Arched Log Cabins LLC on Facebook with your name on it?
I don't know. How?
It said you added me to Arched Cabins LLC.
I invited you. You must have accepted it.
I don't know.
Jim Schaefer, dude.
It's my fucking bell.
Jim Schaefer, dude. I had a lot of fun. A lot of messed up shit too. No regrets.
Not one letter.
He wrote regrets. I fucked it up, but it was intentional.
Sorry, man. Yo, we've lived a life, dude. We have lived a life.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we're still playing rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. 31 years later.
I haven't been doing it quite that long.
Dude, that's not even my first band. I started in 91. This motherfucker started in like 62.
80.
I'm fucking around.
That's when I was born.
That's when I was born.
All right, Johnny 62. Fucking Zero. Oh, I thought you meant 80.
No, 62.
Bro, Johnny, you're going to like this. We'd never met, right? There was a thing called Let's Get Local, which was a website page for bands. And the moderator's a friend of mine. And she like texted me. She's like, there's this guy named Johnny Zero. You have to meet him. I've decided. And I'm like, all right, fuck, give him my number, right? So he calls me one day. And David can attest to this.
7.5 hours.
It was like 3.5 hours. And it just kept going. And I remember I got to the point where I had to do stuff. So I'm like cleaning my house and hanging my laundry. And it's just going on and on. And then I wasn't married to my second wife yet, but we were together. And she like came home from work. And I'm just on the phone, right? And then
dude you don't know.
And he's conjuring things from when I'm 6 years old. Jim Schaefer, I got into a band because of the Snuffy. Classy. Katie McGrogan, you guys are talking like it's the Late Show. Knock it off. Oh, the Last Show.
No.
Sorry. No.
Nope.
No, it's not the Last Show. So this fucking guy's bringing up shit. He's like, remember Star Blazers? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, right? So then I'm like, all right, John, I don't know you, bro. I've never met him. I'm like, how old, are you, man? Because you're bringing up things. I'm pretty old, right, at the time, right? And he's like, oh, yeah.
You wouldn't tell you.
No! Yeah. Couple months go by. We set up a meeting, a summit, the Starscream Nation Zero Summit. And I drive to Johnny Zero's house for the first time ever, right? That is like a K-hole. I arrived to watch a football game at 1 o'clock. I looked up and it was midnight. And I'm not making this up. It was a thing. But there was a picture in the living room, the family portrait. And this motherfucker's tall as shit with a straight mullet. And I'm like, he's my age. I had that mullet.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't acknowledge it, man. I don't think until the last year of his life did he admit to me when he was born. That motherfucker.
He wouldn't tell you his name either, right? For the longest time.
I had to get it from his mom.
Right.
Actually, he left his medical card somewhere, like his insurance card. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And then he wouldn't even give me the real name. He told me his first name and his middle name, which isn't a bad name. And I was like, huh? But I knew from the mom, and I was like,
He'd be like, that's not me.
I know. But there's so many Johns. We met them at the fucking service. Dude, there's a lot of Johns in that family.
And he tried for the longest time to find out your real name.
Well, no,
that was a big thing for him.
Why didn't he just ask me? It's not even a secret. I was born a Robert. It's not even a thing. And then, but my legal name is Vex.
Really? Because he was telling me it was Paul.
It wasn't. I was Robert. My initial.
No, that's my real name.
Yeah, but this is before you were around. This is, 15 years
It
ago.
is 50. Yeah, 15 years ago. He really thought it was Paul.
Yeah.
He could have just asked me.
It was Paul. I'm like, I don't know.
It was Robert. And the only reason I really changed it is my real dad was kind of a piece of shit and didn't raise me, and I'm a junior.
All right.
So fuck you. I'm not gonna. Yeah, Robert. I was Bobby.
He thought you were Paul.
No shit. Oh my god. I wish he was alive, and I knew this. I could have talked. He never asked. He never asked.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. He was happy that when I wrote Johnny Xero, I did the X. He was like, hey man, thanks for not putting a Z before my name, And I was like, okay, but I get this whole secret identity bullshit. I understand. Like,
was the first place you met him? Was it at that get together? Was there a get together of bands? Did you go to that?
I took him to the get together of bands. So
I remember.
Though but dude, him and I were years in by then. We were already friends. Like I was like, oh, come to my house, bro. We'll go to this function. Right. And that's where the drummer was playing. I'm sorry, bro. I'm hijacking. I love Johnny Xero. This motherfucker, and I've told the story before, went up to every person. There were like 200 people at this function. And he's like, hey man, I'm Johnny. Do you play drums? Right? And he worked the whole room. An hour later, he did it again, and the same guys were like, I told you an hour ago. No. Doesn't he fucking find a dude who's like, yeah, I play drums. I used to tour with Motorhead. I swear to God he said this. Kid could play drums, though.
Yeah.
And he had played that night, and then the next thing I knew, that was the drummer. And I don't know if you and John had hooked up yet by that point, but I was like, listen.
Right after.
I know the perfect bass player for your band. But I remember thinking, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to put up with you. And I called you and said that. I'm like, he's a lot.
He's a lot.
But he's a genius. Remember?
Yeah.
And then you went out. And then I didn't see them for like 2 weeks. And it was like a whole band. And I was like, how the fuck? Like a weed. It just grew up overnight. And there were shows. And I was like, okay, good for you, motherfuckers, And then,
when did this happen?
And then Johnny Xero got mad. And decided, even though I hooked him up with the bass player and he met the drummer with me, that I was trying to destroy him. And then he ostracized me for a while. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
His boy, who came the original bass player for the Frankenstein War Machine, said to us, where did we meet him? We just met at the show.
Yeah, he was at the
and he was like, oh, man.
I'll do one more.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah. He said Johnny was in competition with everybody. And I lied. I'm like, oh, he wasn't like that at all, man. We worked together. He was my best friend. We were fine. He was in competition with everybody in his own head.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my man.
That's fine. Not defined competition, though.
Kept him going.
He would make posters of Starscream versus Nation Zero. And us like doing like this and the posters at each other, like face to face. And I'm like, bro, we're friends. Like, no, it's marketing. It'll be fucking great. Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong about that. But
no.
Here's the thing. If Starscream and Pistol Razor play a show together, you and I are friends.
Obviously.
I want my band to be better.
I don't even care.
Is that competition?
But here's the thing. I'll tell you how I feel. Point blank. You are a better singer than I'll ever be.
And you are a better performer than I will ever be.
Thank you. I'm a fan, legitimately, of Nation Zero's music, of Pistol Razor's music.
Same. I love Starscream.
I never felt, I would feel that insecurity bullshit against strangers, like other bands who weren't part of our tribe. But if somebody in our thing is good, I want you to be great. I don't ever feel that. Because sometimes we've been sloppy on stage.
Right. But here's the thing. I don't want you to be bad. I want you to be great. I just want to be a little better that day.
Okay, I just don't feel that. It's not in me. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I was a fan of yours before we knew each other.
And look, I love it. I've always loved playing with your band because now I kind of have to be good because I really don't want to get shown up and look like a hack. Playing with better bands makes me play a better show. It just does.
Again, strangers, I felt that thing. But once like somebody's in my thing, Johnny Mac, when I met him, was a drummer in a band called ACID, Another Cry in Darkness. And I kind of felt like fundamentally I was in a better band than they were because we were at it a little longer. We had rehearsed a little longer, but Johnny Mac was the better drummer. That's not even a maybe. We had a good drummer though, but King Sam's King Sam, right? And the singer and I were best fucking friends, and I cheered the loudest for them. And they did become a thing. They were like a little powerhouse for a minute. Right. And I was just, no, I didn't feel any weirdness. I loved it. Like, fucking A, he's my boy. You know?
I don't think it's not.
I didn't want to be better. I just happened to be on the show. Like, I know what we do. Our shtick is our shtick. It's been our shtick for a long time. Either you dig it or you don't dig it, and that's fine. But I just want to be there. I'm just happy to play. It's when, so were you on the show that night at Bar 13 where the guy with the sword wouldn't get off the fucking stage? Did you play that night?
Yes.
That was a shit night. And the promoter at the time was mad at us, so I was stuck at last slot, which is 12:30.
Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken,
go ahead.
Was that the show where you invited me here the next day for the first time?
It might be that.
I think it was.
It might be that show.
Because we opened.
Yeah, and so you were fucked and I was fucked.
Yeah.
And Sword Guide in the middle got the best fucking spot. I've never seen them again, by the way.
Yeah.
Cunt Canyon or something. I don't know what the fuck
they're called. Shit happened. There was like Pistol Razor, an hour and a half of shit, and Starscream.
No, there was one good band in there. Double Planet was in there.
Yeah.
So there was something good, and I made friends with them too because I'm like, oh, this is a good fucking band. I like it. I know you did, a guitar player, but then the other two were bad. Yeah. So I think it was Pistol Razor, Double Planet. I'm like, oh, pretty good, and then two fucking not good that I never saw them again. Canyon Flower. That's what the Canyon Flower with the fucking sword, you cunt.
They were hot.
I watched him walk through the parking lot with a sword over his shoulder, and I'm like, I'm pretty gay, and I'm pretty, but that's fucking retardifying. I've got the sword of Doro or some shit like
Claymore. Yeah.
It was fucking.
Now, I want you to picture this.
Picture this, if you will.
Picture this, if you will. I want you to imagine. What's like an 80s metal band? I don't know.
Dio, motherfucker.
We'll say Dio.
Motley Crue.
Not like that. Like more theatrical, like Dio. Or a King Diamond. But somehow semi-scrambled with like the idealism of like the Grateful Dead. Like, I think they played 45 minutes, and I think they played two songs. And it was like metal/jam. Now, imagine both those bands, but bereft of talent. That's what it was, and it was not good.
Not good.
Like,
it wouldn't end. So you're like, okay. And I went up to the promoter, I was like, are you going to do something? They're running over. He's like, eh. And I was like, you motherfucker.
Like, I felt terrible for them. Because, like, we opened, so you get the opener slot, and you get, like, the early crowd. Like, okay, it was fine. We definitely had the energy, won over the early crowd. People were into it. People were staying. They were there for the show. Cool, awesome. Double Planet went on. They do their thing. They're a good band. I like Double Planet. I know those guys. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but they're pretty good at what they do. And the energy continued. They were great. I'm like, all right, cool. Gonna be a good night, you know. More crowds gonna roll in. The early crowds hooked up, so they're gonna stay. Cool. Starscream's gonna have a good set. And this thing showed up and just pulled the fucking e-brake on it and just fucking ruined it. I was like, these guys suck.
And I'm watching the people leave.
Yeah,
that's
droves left.
We were there with the Motorhead band and the Maiden, Eyes of the Nile.
Okay, no idea.
They had a big, Eddie costumed guy. He was like 9 feet tall, running around with the flag in there.
In Bar 13?
Yeah.
Those ceilings ain't 9 feet high.
I know.
That's awesome.
They were trying the whole theatrical thing.
But hey, what you gonna do?
Motorhead and Maiden. Yeah.
Canyon fucking Flower.
Blah.
Dumb fucking name. And the guy was doing the whole Jim Morrison thing, and I'm like, faggot, get off. Like, and I'm calling you a faggot. You got a problem. If I'm like, you're a fag, you have issues. In Silver Sparkle LeMay, I'm like, you might be a fag. I think we're done unless you guys want to keep going. Are you tired?
I'm exhausted, but hey.
What about you?
I was beat when I got here, so.
I got nothing to do.
All right. How long do you think we could talk before they kick us off if we start going down your road? Because we're past the show. It's 10:35, right? So we're going to get clipped.
Should do a thing where you bring up the pictures of 20 years ago or 10 years ago of all these famous people and see which ones really look like they're the same.
I mean, do you look the same as you looked 20 years ago?
You can still tell it's me. What I'm saying is you see a picture of Vladimir Putin from 15 years ago, not the same guy. That's a big thing because that's a world leader.
Putin's also hopped up on HGH and adrenochrome.
It don't change your eyes and your face. And all
You know what doesn't change? The fucking ears. Scotland Yard taught me that. So if you're trying to compare a human being, how come there's the sitting president, like you either have earlobes that are attached or they're off, and he has pictures with both? How the fuck is that possible? Like my shit's attached. I'm an earlobe attached guy. So no matter what happens in my life, it runs into my head. But there are ones that are out.
Do you remember Epstein going down on the gurney when he's dead and they wheel him out, which they never bring a body out of a body bag?
I don't really, I'm not going to lie to you. No, I don't.
Okay, well, they wheel him out of the prison and he's in a wide open, body bag's open halfway. They would never publish a picture of anybody like that. So they did that, and you can see, you can find the pictures where they show the earlobes and the profile of Jeffrey Epstein. And then that body on the gurney.
So he's not dead?
No. Did you see when who's that famous newscaster, Megyn Kelly? She said, you're going to be hearing from him very soon. She said that right on the news show. You can look it up.
They buried her. Her career is over.
Yeah. Probably because she said shit like that. You can't say things like that.
She said it.
Unless you're a completely independent journalist, sir. Which, lucky for us, we fucking are.
Katie McGrogan. Epstein and Putin, you guys are so getting clipped. Ha ha ha.
Bring it on. We're past time. They can clip us all they want.
Yeah, now they can clip the show. We kind of got knocked off for a minute. Listen, Tuesday, I'm not even kidding. If you don't like who's fucking running, which I kind of respect that, Vex and Dave, write us in.
Write it in.
Abortions for all.
Fuck them all to death!
Is that for the presidency or a congressman? I mean,
The presidency.
We are running for president and vice president.
I thought about it because I voted yesterday.
You're like, I thought I'm making you a congressman.
Yeah.
I would be a congressman.
We'll make you our chief of foreign affairs.
Cool. I'm in.
We'll send you all over the world. Be great.
I want to make him the border czar.
All right, cool. Yeah, you can do that.
Him with an AK on the border with that hair. Hey, motherfucker!
America, bitches!
No, I would not shoot at them.
I would not shoot
to
at
the
them.
entrance. And then come in legally, that's all.
Yeah, there's a door. Stop coming through the window. I mean, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. And she's never been there.
I got beef with that. I don't know. That feels like maybe you should be doing a better job at your assigned task.
All right, listen. They're not discussing this, and I wish they were. I wish Trump was discussing this, if I'm honest with you. The day he got inaugurated, there were tens of thousands of people just walking towards the border. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And they let them all in.
And they were paid for it.
And that just, hold on. I want to be Secretary of Defense because of the Army time, Jim Schaefer. Maybe. You won't even come to a party.
Yeah. Show up to a party. Think about it. If you can make it through Yacht Rock, we'll consider you.
But the secretary for the medical stuff is definitely Tiffany.
Oh, yeah. She's the Surgeon General.
There you go. Sergeant General warning, don't be a cunt.
Don't be a cunt.
That'll be on all the fucking cigarette packs.
It will.
Like this.
I'll never quit smoking if that's the case, just because I get to carry them around.
This is my friend Tiffany. Don't be a cunt.
You'll have her picture on it, like...
Charles Sellers, if you become president, we'd have to build a new, even more tricked out God box. Katie McGrogan, I better be in your cabinet. On your knees? That's weird.
I don't think that's what you meant, but I support your company.
Foreign affairs? You want foreign affairs or you want the border? Which one do you want? I feel like you'd nuke the whole fucking Middle East and take all the oil.
No, I wouldn't do that. I want world peace, you know. It's like,
Katie McGrogan, oh, sassy. Jim Schaefer, the border.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being sassy and 10 being sassy, you rate an 11. Sassy. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Jim's Schaefer, the border will now be sparkly.
It will be.
The wall will be sparkly. Okay.
Is there a wall down there now? Or...
Actually, do you want to? You know this. Do you want to hear the fucking truth that no one will fucking tell you?
Yeah.
I only know this because of military personnel that were there at the time. We're just between us? I swear to God, and you can look this up. Obama built the wall back then. All Trump was going to do was add on to it. It already exists. Our military already built it. It's a fucking fact. And it was Obama who put it up.
What are you worried about?
The letting them in part. Before they used to stop them, and now the policy is to not stop them.
Yeah.
Because the theory is that they can vote, which is technically illegal, but since you don't ask anybody for fucking IDs anymore, even though you need identification to get to BJ's, that's fine. But to vote, no problem. You're good.
They even got the laws where you don't have to be a citizen to vote.
I didn't know that. I really didn't
California, you know, that's why it was each state does their own governing.
Yeah, but this is like a federal election.
Listen, I'm on board for that, by the way. I think states' rights are a huge part of how our government was supposed to fucking operate. And, you know, the federal government just stay the fuck out of my fucking life because that's kind of how this was supposed to work from the jump.
Right.
Welcome to America from Jim Schaefer. Here's your bedazzler. Make America shiny again.
In fact, I'm pretty sure we fought a fucking war about it, even though people want to say it was about slavery, but it wasn't.
Right.
That's made up.
It was about taxation.
It was about states' rights, but, you know.
Sure. And I think that was the issue, just to put the light on it for everyone. You know, what California, how crazy it got for everyone to see how important it is. You know, that's why the light is shining on them.
Madness.
Because the same with the grants, the billions that they got to fight fires and to show you that they've done nothing to fight fires.
Yeah.
So where'd the money go? Oh, we're missing $48 billion.
How about the billions?
I'll take it away from you.
How about the fucking billions that they gave? It was under Kamala to make Wi-Fi for everybody in the country, and they have connected 0 people in 3.5 years.
Surprise!
0 people, and it's $1 billion fucking dollars.
Well, how does 80,000 people walk up from Guatemala with no water? You know, someone's funding that.
That's Soros, right?
They're trying to show you that.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
On top of that,
They've been doing it.
how about this? Everybody wants to talk about, which you say is already constructed wall at our border. Do you have any idea what's at the southern border of Mexico, you know, that touches Guatemala?
No, what's there?
An even bigger fucking wall.
Right. Yeah, they were fighting them. They were shooting at them. Mexico to keep them from coming in.
Mexico wants nothing to do with them.
Right.
Well, I was married to a Spanish woman. What I learned from them is the further you are from America, the lower you are on the pecking order. So she was Puerto Rican and they have American citizenship.
Right.
So they think their shit doesn't stink. And then as you go further away,
Because they're correct.
and
This is
further,
America.
but then like by the time you get to the Dominican Republic, they're like fucking pieces of garbage. Like, oh my God, you're fucking Dominican.
Well, what about Haiti? What they did
It's
to them?
way worse.
No, I'm saying that whole earthquake, take all the kids out, give them money, no one complains. That's what they did.
So, a
Put 'em
good
in
friend
the
of
system.
mine, a good friend of mine is fairly high profile in a certain service industry. I'm not going to get into his business. But he's lived and worked all over the world. And he spent a lot of time living and working in Key West.
Oh, is he a jizz mopper? I get it. Go ahead.
No. he's
You
not.
said service industry.
Not that
In
kind of
Key
service.
West.
But he said that there's a large demographic of Latin people from all over living in Key West. And he said it's weird because everybody knows, like, if you're Puerto Rican and Mexicans kind of don't get along, like they kind of clash a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and Dominicans are a little different.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they're on one side. He's like, one thing that will unite them all, they all really hate Haitians.
No shit.
Yeah. He's like, every one of them. He's like, if you are Latino in any way, they all hate the
The
Haitians.
jizz mopper would know.
Well, the shtick was, and I lived through it in the 80s, when
That was fucking funny.
when
Fuck
all
you
the
both.
Haitians came to New York, they would work 3 jobs. You know, that's like 18, 20 hours working, taking the jobs. But worked hard. So it's like, wow, they work harder than us. I mean, I don't know. But.
And in order to stay up that long.
Well, they made a joke on in
Cocaine.
Jamaicans. Jamaicans had 8 jobs.
Yeah, remember that?
Wasn't there a skit?
There was
Right?
a skit.
You
I
only
remember
got
that.
3
That's
jobs.
You're not Jamaican, man.
Right. That's right.
I got somebody who works for me like that. She's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
She's a beast, bro. She works with us. She meets me at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. We're done by 10, and she goes on her fucking job.
But all the kids that got lost during that earthquake, you know, with the whole Sean Penn and Hillary and this and that, this is human trafficking.
Clinton killed
That's
him.
where they'll go.
Killed it.
Human, more than one.
Some would say like close to 60.
They
Not
let
a
the
record.
lady out. She was arrested in Haiti. Clintons give her the national pardon, and they made her the head of the Amber Alert system.
Oh my
here.
God.
That's right.
There was somebody last week on fucking TikTok with his phone. They were in an airport in Florida with a bunch of Spanish fucking kids, and he's like, hey, where are we going? And no one would talk to him. So he followed them, and they went to some weird fucking creepy orphanage that's not a real orphanage.
One trafficker makes over $250 million on one kid. So can you imagine?
$250 million on a kid?
Trafficking.
I don't know. I get your kid for 20 grand.
For the
bro.
year, I'm saying.
I get your kid for 20 grand.
Okay.
I get a white one
kid.
for 25.
Okay, so add it up. How many kids you need for...
Well, you
That's
said
what
you
I'm
said
saying.
one kid is.
I'm saying, if you're saying you just get 20,000, just add up, say, 20 of those. In any event, one is too horrific. But the amount of money that it's generating, you think they're squashing that? No, and that's why no one wants to talk about it. But all these politicians open up their borders and their ports, and they're paid. They're dirty as hell, and hopefully they'll be put to death.
Burn it down, motherfucker.
Yup.
them all to death. That was
Fuck them all to death!
And with that,
Truth.
I'm going to find the theme song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it.
This is the end.
This is the end.
Beautiful friend,
My only friend.
the end. I'll never look into your eyes again. Do, 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 do.
Doors are a little weird.
I'm a fan.
I know you are. I'm not saying I'm not, but some of their music is a little avant-garde for my taste.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 263 of the Vex Podcast. Morning radio, episode 95. Cobalt, thank you for your time. Dave, thank you for your time.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Tuesday! Fuck them all to death.
Fuck them all to death.
Vex and Dave for president.
Write it in.
Make good choices.